Well, here we are. It's Evolution afternoon. What's up, everybody? We're going to talk real quick. I'm going to give my little thoughts here in the tag team title situation, possibly being unveiled. Something we thought would definitely happen at Evolution before. We'll talk about that. You know, Alexa Bliss not being in the match. Of course, she's injured, as we mentioned. I did my predictions video already, so you maybe already saw that. So if you didn't see that, you know, I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. So we'll talk about all that. And real quick off the bat. But yeah, let's talk about the tag team titles. So this is what I think is going to happen. I'll tell you that in 1 second. But I just wanted to say real quick to the people that keep emailing me. I was actually no-selling. I feel bad. I was no-selling you guys on the emails because so many of you guys were writing me like, hey, I want to get you a wedding gift. And so I know this is random, but hey, I can get you a wedding gift, and like, what's your registry thing or whatever. Well, we don't have a registry because, you know, we're trying to get, you know, even though we got married real quick, you know, we don't have the house, and the place we're in right now is overflowing with just garbage. So it's like, you know, we really can't put anything anywhere. But if you really want to, some of you said, you know, that you don't do Patreon. You know, I don't know why, because there's so much content on there. You know, instead of, you know, people are offering $50 items, rather do PayPal. You get, I mean, not PayPal, rather do Patreon. You get a bunch of bonus content. But if not, if you wanted to drop something, for those people that wanted to do it, I will link in the top of the description box down below my PayPal Me link, which is just a link right to the PayPal. So if you want to drop whatever there, that's fine. We're not really doing the wedding gifts because there's nowhere to put them. We need to get into a house more than anything. So if you want to do that, then do that, and then we'll end up getting our own stuff to put in our house, and you helped us with that instead. So just for the people, because so many people emailed me, I don't want to... First, I wasn't writing back. I wasn't trying to be rude. I just felt awkward that people wanted to get us things like that. But instead, I guess, there's the PayPal Me, I guess. Anyway, thank you. It's crazy. We had a really fun night last night on Corrupted episode 71. It was a different one with some fill-ins and stuff like that. Episode 71 is up on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Anyway, initially we thought that Bayley and Sasha were going to feud a while back, and then all of a sudden they became friends again out of nowhere, and they scrapped that storyline. And then all of a sudden they attacked each other again, and then they had to get therapy, and then all of a sudden they scrapped the story again because they decided that they wanted to have Becky and Bayley maybe win the first ever women's tag team championships. So that had been the plan, and Bayley and Sasha were tagging together, and then apparently Sasha Banks got a head injury at some point, and it was post-concussion syndrome that she was dealing with, so she was out. So then they once again apparently scrapped the idea of them winning the tag team titles because, you know, Sasha Banks was injured. A lot of people said, why didn't WWE ever say that she had post-concussion syndrome? And I think it's fairly obvious that the WWE doesn't really want to say concussion or talk about concussions, although I do feel like they have talked about concussions, you know, before, but maybe they just didn't want to get into saying she's got post-concussion syndrome, which is a awful thing. I dealt with that for 7 months. It's actually scary. It's, you know, I mean, some people get it for 2 weeks. Some people get it for months. Some people get it for years. Some people, it never goes away. I mean, it's really a bizarre thing. I still have vague effects of it, I feel like. But for the most part, I'm pretty recovered. But it took 7 months. So a lot of you guys listened to me during that time. It was a miserable time. Like, I was garbage for some of the shows. But, so when are the tag team championships going to be revealed? You know, it could be tonight. It could be tonight that there's a match announced or there's something announced, but I feel doubtful to that. I don't think it's going to be announced tonight that anybody's going to win any titles tonight. I think it is possible that they announce it tonight, you know, if they want to make some kind of little spectacle. I really believed that they would announce it tomorrow. You know, that Stephanie or whoever would come out and say, last night we broke the lines down, or, you know, whatever crap. You know, we broke the barriers down for the women, and But now we're doing something even more special on the night after. We're announcing the first ever women's tag, so I could see them doing that on Raw. Now, certainly it could happen tonight. Originally, we thought there'd be a tournament that would culminate in tonight, but, they're already doing the Mae Young Classic thing, and I already explained everything else. I really think that maybe they want Bayley and Sasha to win no matter what. I thought tonight it'd be funny if Sasha and Bayley, again, there was a turn and they went right back into their program, but I mean, that'd be so ridiculous, though, at this point. If Sasha turns on Bayley again, or Bayley turns on Sasha, that's like the third time now. By the way, it would be the third time where we still don't have a result, right? Because we've already had 2 feuds with these two, but no actual fight, really. It's like they get mad at each other, they have a crazy little thing, and then they don't end up fighting. It's ridiculous, and we've got no payoff from any of it. It's literally all been a gigantic waste of time as far as Bayley and Sasha are concerned. A huge waste of time. The careers are spiraling to hell at this point. People are starting to like the Riot Squad, so maybe then the Riot Squad can get the win, and then Bayley and Sasha are fighting with each other. But or they're gonna go the route of Bayley and Sasha get the victory over the Riot Squad, and then on Raw tomorrow night, there's the tag team titles announced or something like that. I don't know, but that's what I think is going to happen. And a poo from The Simpsons. Who wants to talk about that? We'll talk about that in a minute. That goes on my other channel if you really want to go over there. YouTube.com/corruptedpodcast. YouTube channel. It's free to subscribe to youtube.com/corruptedpodcast. Which I do need to change the channel name because it's confusing to people. Because the Corrupted Podcast is on Patreon, where you go to drop a couple $. But yeah, so if you guys if anybody wants to do any of that crazy stuff for some reason and help us out, fine. That is beyond words. Obviously we're very thankful for you guys helping. The PayPal me link is down below. Also, if you end up dropping a decent amount, or you end up dropping whatever, you know what I mean, like, you're somebody who drops a chunk of money or whatever you do. Please, if you don't have Patreon and you want to hear Corrupted or something, let me know, and I'll send you the link to download all the episodes. You know what I mean? That way you have it. If you're somebody that doesn't do Patreon, but you drop like $10 or more on the in an email to me in the PayPal me, just let me know, because I will give you the link to the Dropbox to download the first 100 episodes of Corrupted. That way you get something, just make sure you guys have it if you're not a Patreon person. But Patreon is great. You can cancel anytime. It's an easy app. It's a lot of fun. It's everybody loves it. I mean, it's 350-something patrons over there. And shout out to the new people that signed up on Patreon yesterday. Roger Wills. And I got something else I want to talk about as far as WWE goes. I don't know why I just made that noise. Nikki J pledged $10 a month. Thank you to Nikki J very much. Danny O'Malley's back in the house. Danny O'Malley's in the house. It was a long night last night, guys. I'm babbling on because the Red Sox were on after that 18-inning craziness with LA or whatever, and it was crazy. So Alicia Fox has been pulled from the Rumble, obviously, because she's going to be in the match with Alexa. So that makes sense. Obviously we pretty much saw that coming, so that's not a very big surprise. Again, as I mentioned a lot of stuff in my predictions video about Evolution. I talked about Evolution, the match by match. You should probably listen to that if you want. I think the Toni Storm match is going to steal the show. I hope it does. Although, it'd be nice if that stole the show and then there was one kind of really big sort of storyline or screw job thing that happens. That'd be kind of cool, I think. I again, in my other predictions video, I gave a prediction out, and some people hated it. Some people liked it, some people hated it. I don't know how I feel. I'm not saying that I even like it, I don't think. I'm just saying that I feel like Stephanie McMahon is going to come out, and she's going to be like, I'm the referee in the Ronda Rousey match, by the way, and then the crowd's going to boo, and Nikki Bella, and then she could win the title against Ronda Rousey. Or they could go happy ending. They could go happy ending, and Stephanie McMahon could appoint herself the referee. There could be all the cards stacked against Ronda, and then Ronda could end up winning the match somehow. Stephanie gets like knocked out by Brie or something, and then Ronda gets the win. So they could do it that way. They could do that, all just to make this event really kind of cool and special. But I figured they'd go the long drawn out route, which is Ronda loses the belt to Nikki because Stephanie's the referee and Brie Bella helps her, and it's a big screw job on Ronda. And they really do the whole Stone Cold Vince McMahon angle, but with Ronda and Stephanie. I feel like that's something they would do. I'm not 100% saying that's exactly what I want. I'm just saying that I think I can see them doing this. I really believe that's something they might do. A lot of stuff about China going around all over social media because obviously women's evolution, it's really, something that, people want to, put over as far as nobody wants to forget about China. I just don't. I think it would be quite an amazing thing if Stephanie McMahon, and I know that she mentioned China one day, which is pretty cool, but I wish that, Stephanie McMahon could, do something like that for China. It's got to be Stephanie too, because stuff with her in China I'm sure wasn't very well and personal, and maybe China would hate for this to happen. Who knows? But it's just so I don't know. Whatever they do, it's too little, too late. It always kind of irritates me anyway because it's just too little, too late. We said it back when China was alive, when China was talking to everybody, and she had her YouTube channel, and we were talking about China. We said it then. It's like, dude, get her over there, and they didn't. We said it about Vader for years. We said this guy is gonna die. Vader's gonna die. And we went 2 years, at least 4 Hall of Fames where people clamored for Vader's name. 4 Hall of Fames, and 2 of them where we knew the guy was going to die, and they still didn't bring him in. Now, I don't know if that makes them cold-hearted or vengeful, or if it just means that they just don't do things because people are going to die or whatever. They don't, it doesn't matter because, a lot of people would say, well, China wasn't in good shape yet, so if China cleaned herself up for a few years more, and, made it seem like she was doing really well, maybe the WWE would have put her over there. But that argument doesn't make any sense because Vader was clean, and Vader was, fine. They even had him at the Hall of Fame once, to induct somebody. Although it sounded like he was putting himself over, but he was there to induct someone, believe it or not. But then you go back to Triple H's comments on the Stone Cold podcast. Triple H said that China wasn't in because somebody could look up that she was in porn. But yet X-Pac appears all over the place. Sean Waltman, he was in that porn with her. Nobody cares about that, though. There's a huge inconsistency of lies and just stupid. And, I think Triple H was on the spot on that podcast, too, with Steve Austin, and he just kind of had to say something, and he didn't want to say something bad, so he came up with something as harmless as he could. And I think that's probably all Triple H was doing, was trying to, come up with something to explain it. But anyway, the women have a pay-per-view, and, there's a lot of negativity out there and positivity, sure enough. There's a lot of overly positive people who are just like, oh my God, finally, it's amazing, this is the greatest thing in the world. And then there's a lot of other people who are like cynical, who are like, oh yeah, they only gave him it because of Crown Jewel, because they couldn't go to the Saudi Arabia. They barely even promoted it. Which is true, but I just choose to feel that regardless of, why they gave it to them or why it's happening, they've already been pushing the whole women's evolution anyway. So it's not that crazy that they're doing it, even if there was no Saudi Arabia. And I think a lot of people are trying to say, well, if there was no Saudi Arabia, there would have been no Evolution pay-per-view because they wouldn't have felt the need to do this. And, that may be true, but I'm just looking at it from down the middle like, whatever. As long as we got it, man. We got to see something different. Cool. And I don't know. It's going to be tonight. I'm going to be live after Evolution tonight right here. I'm not making the drive out anywhere to be there at the show, unfortunately, because we need the car on Monday morning, and I'd be taking the car, and, you know, Leah would not be happy with that. We got a lot of kind of emotional shit going on here, too, with stuff breaking and the money and trying to figure out things. No, because maybe in a few minutes. Give me a minute. So, you know, it's a little bit crazy right now, unfortunately. And but tonight I will be live after Evolution, and I've gotten a photo of the Himmel God on Twitter, and my God, he's sleeping. But man, that I'll tell you what, those eyes are closed, but I bet you the rear's open. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. I will see you after Evolution. I'll have some more for you in a little while, maybe. I might be streaming randomly with some Q&A stuff. Corrupted was 3 hours long last night. My podcast last night with Filthy and Leah and Mars, 3 hours long. Episode 71. If you go to patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, become a patron for $2 a month, you can hear it. For $1, you can hear it actually on the YouTube link with the pre-show. But for $2, you can get the MP3 download that I uploaded. That's the last thing that's up there right now. You can download that to your cell phone to save on your data plan. Download it to your computer. Whatever you want to do. It's up there. We talked about a lot of stuff. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool episode. A lot of people were in there. We had a good, fun time. The JCS Army was in full effect, man. Close to 2,000 followers on my 7th Twitter account that has not been banned yet, despite the fact that I am permanently banned for life on Twitter. So feel free to follow it for the time being. I could use some help. Come on over. I'm still sick. I could be dying. These could be the last days that you ever listen to me. The Twitter account is @CorruptedPod. @CorruptedPod. And it says Joe Cronin Show on it or whatever. So look for me on Twitter. Instagram, I got some photos up there. Weird photos. Instagram.com/Joe Cronin Show. I also want to say that the Joe Cronin Show is also, of course, brought to you by WrestleCrate. They get some really cool Kenny Omega stuff coming next month, especially for you UK people. But yeah, the Kenny Omega stuff is strong. WrestleCrate.com. Go to WrestleCrate.com, enter in coupon code Joe Sent Me, and every month you'll get a WrestleCrate box sent to you. There's t-shirts, autographs, rare little items, cool little custom stuff. It's a great It's the original Wrestle box. There's been no other wrestling box. They are the original WrestleCrate, WrestleCrate.com, and they've been with me since 2013. They have been great. I'm so happy to have them, and I have some more openings to do. I have 3. I'm behind by 3 boxes. But seriously, if you've done all the other stuff, you've been on the Patreons, you've liked this video, you click the like button down below to help me out, you leave a comment to help me out, you fast forward and listen to this 3 times to help me out, you send this to all your family and friends who are wrestling fans, you share this on Facebook, you share it on Twitter, you do all those things, and then you want to try something for fun, well, give WrestleCrate a try. Also, check out my t-shirt store. That's down below. Everything is in the description box. T-shirt store, my Amazon link, I think might even be down there if you shop there. My other YouTube channel, youtube.com/corruptedpodcast. I mean, it's just everything's down below. I'll see you guys after Evolution. I think I plugged just about everything I could in the world. There it is, and I saved it all at the end for you, so it was all good. It was cool. Yeah, Apu is leaving The Simpsons because of the whole SJW stuff. I think it's dumb. Because when I saw Apu as a kid, it taught me that there's other people out there. You know, it taught me about it. Even though it's a stereotype, everything in The Simpsons is a stereotype. So that's the whole point of The Simpsons. What do you guys think? I don't know. We'll talk about it more on the corrupted stuff. Here's some other videos you might have missed, including my predictions video about WWE Evolution tonight. What do you think's going to happen tonight? Leave me a comment down below if you feel the need to. And once again, my PayPal me to direct me is down below. The link is at the top of the description. Then below that's the Patreon and everything else. All right, I'll see you guys live tonight, unless I see you in my other videos throughout the day. I'm dying!